they dug down to beat Austria and they beat England. Although England, I think, were their easiest game, really. So even if they didn't have world-class players, that's no reason why England can't go on to do well. So at the same time, even though a lot of questions were really pointed at Roy, the players do need to take responsibility as well, because they actually play the game. And if the question of they caved in under pressure, why do they cave in the pressure in England when they play for the country, but they don't cave in the pressure when they play for the club week in, week out? So it's up to them to try and cope, really, and get a good team spirit going. Unfortunately, they failed this time around, but hopefully they'll use it as experience. It needs a strong leader and a strong manager and a strategy to guide them, but they need to motivate themselves to win it for themselves and for the fans back home. I mean, I think it's very brave of Joe Hart and Wayne Rooney to come out to the press and say, we were really bad. I mean, it takes a lot of muscle, and it's very brave to come out and say, we did wrong, basically. So, I think you have to give credit to them as well, Joe Hart and Wayne Rooney, to coming out and say, we did wrong, we apologise. So, where do we go from here? Which managers do we choose? I mean, some gossips are saying that Arsene Wenger is in the frame. I'm not sure why, because I think he's happy at Arsenal. But he could make a good England coach. I mean, he has a specific style of play, doesn't he, Arsene? I mean, on his heyday, you know, when Arsenal golden age, when they're unbeatables and when they had David Seaman, Mark Overmars in their squad, Arsenal were top notch. I think nowadays it's sort of hit and miss, because I think everyone's sort of figuring out Arsenal's gameplay, because they have a style of where they like to attack, and questionably they always try to score a perfect goal. But maybe this consistency of the same tactic is what England need, and it's what didn't happen in the Euros, because it kept swapping and changing. And Arsene Wenger formation is no different to what Roy was trying to achieve, so it could work in England's favour. But he's a former manager, and would the players buy into his system? Jurgen Klinsmann is also another favourite. I mean, he could help us invoke his magic of penalty taking into English game. Personally, though, I would prefer to be an Englishman. Personally, I mean, Eddie Howe's name has been into the mix. Personally, I think it would be too soon for him. I think he needs to be managing more to try and get more success at club level before he can consider an England post. I think Sam Allardyce and Steve Bruce are win a shout, because they're highly experienced managers. And Sam Allardyce, he's always managed at teams with a relegation. So if pressure is what is making England fall short, then he can bring that experience into play where England can play without pressure. Because more or less they've been doing it. So in that theory, maybe Claudio Ranieri could be England's next manager, because he'll bring a lot of class and asking England to live the dream. No, seriously. So Sam Allardyce could be a good choice. He's familiar with the game and all. But you would have thought that the favourite is Gareth Southgate. I mean, I don't take no notice of what the bookies say anymore because they gave the odds that Leicester were 5,000 to 1 to win the Prem, and look how that turned out. So I don't think bookies are necessarily right. I would have thought that without the bookies, Gareth Southgate would be the favourite because he's England's 21. He's won the tournament with the under 21s. He's part of the FA, so he could be the most likely candidate. But then again, there's Glenn Hoddle as well. Could he go back to management? I mean, he's been out of the game for some time, but he knows the England game and he knows the right way to win. But would the FA really employ him again? Who knows? I can't see Gary Neville being England manager because if he left part of the backroom staff with Roy Hodgson, then you would have thought that the FA wouldn't pick him because he was part of the backroom staff in which we failed at the Euros. So maybe not. At least not yet. I think my personal pick is Alan Shearer because he seems very passionate. I mean, I saw every single emotion of Alan Shearer when he sort of gave his assessment in the match of the day to Gary Lineker, and I think he would make one heck of a good job as an England manager because he really can't do any worse than what they did in the past. He's familiar with the game, he can offer his experience. I think he'll stick to his game plan. The only thing that'll go against him is his lack of experience, and he has no UEFA Pro license. But then again, when Klinsmann and Beckenbauer were Germany managers, they didn't have much experience. And in fact, Beckenbauer went on to win the World Cup as Germany manager. So experience is not really a necessity, really, is it? I mean, Gareth Southgate, like Alan Shearer, played for England at an international level, so that's why he's also a favourite. And it's also an advantage he has over Allardyce and maybe Steve Bruce. But when it comes to experience, international experience, he's in the same boat as Alan Shearer. And so there you have it. That's my assessment. I thank you for watching. If you fancy a chat with me, then just comment below this video or talk to me on Twitter. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.